June 16th.
2023.
Yes.
All right, then he died on 16th on, in Beaumont,
No, we're
what county? Here, she died.
Jefferson County.
Jasper. Oh,
It was it Jasper she died?
yeah,
Oh,
Stellar Hospice.
Okay.
And, in
Yeah, but
Jasper,
Jasper, Texas. Okay.
okay, at the age of,
Eighty.
they have 80, what is it?
It'd be 80s, 85.
Yeah. And 4 years of an elapsed of day, okay. Document dated, and now showing.
That's the will, what date the will was dated, so
Okay, well,
it's right here, the original will is here. June the first.
Yeah, June 1st, 2020, 2023.
So these documents are already on file here, but you want it filled out in here?
This has to
Not,
be
not
filled.
that one,
Not
not the
that
proof,
one.
the proof's not filled out.
The proof's not filled out. This is a different.
June 1st, 2023.
which purports to be received.
This is what you do before a judge. You're making an oath before a judge as you're filling out the proof.
And Mr. Leonard is the, affiant.
No child, no children. Adopted after either.
Yeah.
Adopted by the same. Either a state or an agent of the chair of artificial's name. And independent executor in the will is not disqualified by law. Okay, so who signed it?
Brother Leonard will. Sign right here, but, right?
Yes, and then I'll fill out that section.
There was a, looked like a signature on the bottom down there on the other page. Was that
Yeah,
right?
the bottom is me filling out.
Oh, okay.
Showing that I saw him personally sign.
Okay, I didn't know.
Fine. I mean, well, if you don't deal with it, you don't know. And I'll fill out the rest, Mr. Leonard. And then after the order's signed, he'll have to fill out this oath saying that he is the person he says he is.
All right, y'all can go ahead and stand up here. Whoever, y'all will get started. Got it? Oh, we're good? Okay, all right. All right, well, my name is Milton Powers. I'm the Tyler County Judge. We are sitting in probate matters today in Tyler County. You didn't have to worry about that. We're in the estate of case number PR 10030. And now comes Mr. Leonard B. Connor Senior in the estate of Miss Benny Joan Connor. Who's all gonna be speaking today if I had to ask any questions? All three of y'all? And you gonna be speaking if you have to too? Why don't we just, everybody raise your right hand? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay. All right. I don't think we're gonna have to have everybody do it. Do we, where's my check? All right. Reviewing the application. This is the original will, is that correct? No other will was produced in Mama Joan didn't have any other will of any kind, is that correct? Okay. Is there any other heirs to this applicant today besides those that are gonna be here today?
Yes,
Okay,
my past brother be here.
okay,
He's mentioned.
but he is mentioned, okay. Who's left to be the executor?
On the second page. First Amendment.
There, Curtis Keller. Okay. All right, and you're left to be the executor of the state? All right. We didn't need any kind of added item. We didn't need any kind of attorney. I think everything is lined up pretty good. Is everyone in agreement today that the will that is here represented in the court today is the will of Miss Joan Connor? Everyone? Good. I'm gonna ask everyone to come, please. Look at this with me. It's one of our biggest things. Is this Miss Jones' signature?
Looks like it.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Is there any questions or anything from the court today that you're gonna have?
I have a question as far as things, timely manner, how, there's division of the land, and what kind of time frame is expected, what are the expectations?
Well, normally there's the expectations is left on the executor. And the executor just goes through it. As long as it's done in a timely manner, because he will still have to. And when they're with immunity of title, they won't be filing nothing with us.
No, this is it. You sign the order and he will distribute.
They
Now,
will distribute.
they had up to 4 years to even file the will, so he's got, since she didn't die until the end of 2023, he's done really prompt on filing the will in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Because he had 4 years to get a health up before he even filed it. That doesn't give you an idea on how long it takes to even probate a will.
Yeah.
But y'all always have the choice, if you think he's gone way too long and don't distribute it properly, to bring it back before the court. To say, he's not calling in on a title damage. There's nothing set in stone to the executor in order to distribute the property on a by a certain date.
The application of probate for will of amendment of title is sent out. It's left to Brother Leonard, executor, and you are to follow. That's what you're doing today, is you're following the will of John Connor is what you're doing, okay? So just be sure that you know that everything that you're to do, you're to follow exactly what the will says, okay? As executor.
Yeah, what we did, she named all those machines, and so rather than direct the probate, I didn't care, and she didn't, so I allowed them to come to my house, and I told them, just, you get the machines, and I want you to be happy, and I want you to go, we're family.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
said, I could go ahead and do that earlier, that was okay, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And so I just told them, I said, so we had a day, and they came out, and they got what she had written down there.
As long as
Maybe
you-
more, but I didn't care for the thing they got. Anything more at that point, I'm happy with it. I think they are too. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I said my part of it.
I don't think anybody here is disappointed in any way or unhappy today, so as we're making this, the citation looks good, the will looks good, everything being the fact that as county judge, I did know you and Miss Joan both and the family. I feel comfortable moving forward today and going ahead and admitting this will into probate.
I need to set him. I need to- the order, that's the oath,
So,
and then you have the order over there.
you know,
Too many
too
forms.
many forms.
Okay, so he'll let you sign the oath and tell you, explain that, what that means.
What this is an oath you're taking today. I, Leonard Connor Senior, personally appeared in open court and after being duly sworn, deposed that I have full and certain knowledge of the facts relating the above numbered style estate by virtue of my investigation of the assets and the financial affairs of the descendant, and there is no debts owing by the estate of the descendant inclusive to any debt secured by liens on property. There's no debts by liens on property or to any other estate.
Everything we had paid for.
All right? Sign right here for me, Mr. Connor. In Houston and counties, sometimes it takes people 2 years to hear their probate.
But this is all we can do at the time.
Yeah, this is all.
We're not ready to do what we need to do with it.
Mhm.
I got, she gave me an old horse trailer, and how do I get?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And that'll be something that, if the property said he will have to,
So what I can do is
Get it
give
out.
you a certified copy of the application and will and order. It's certified, you take it down to the tax office to prove that he had the right to transfer title.
So then I can transfer it to
Yeah,
you.
so today, late this evening, I will prepare, after all of our court proceedings, I will prepare a certified copy for him. You can even get a certified copy because it's open record, you know, but he'll be
Yeah,
the
I don't
one,
ever get,
yeah,
anytime he wants, even now about it.
yeah, he'll be the,
We just
yeah.
need paperwork.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll be the one that has to go down there with that certified copy because he is Leonard to transfer the title to you.
That's what
And that's at the tax office where you get your driver's license.
yeah, this is the first one I've ever done without an attorney, so. Most of the time we have the attorneys, they're just running right down through it, both of them, so,
And saved you
Yeah.
$4,000
yeah.
out of the state.
Did she put her chocolate pie recipe? We got it, cause Jerry tried to my father-in-law tried to cook that, and he does pretty good, and he said, did it taste good? I said, what Miss Jones? That's what I do, what Miss Jones? But he did a decent job, but he wasn't Miss Jones. He didn't get that gas slobber, why,
He can fix a brisket, I think he can fix a brisket.
yeah, he can pick a brisket for sure.
Other two.
Well, on behalf of Tyler County, and I just wanna say, our hearts go out to you because I know how much, Miss Jones meant to everybody. So our prayers go out to you for sure. She's in a lot better place than we are today.
Hard to get over her having to go though.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss, and I'm sorry for your girls. I know I think we've all been there, so I'm so sorry. Don't make me cry too.
Well, she was just, everybody loved her.
Oh, yeah.
I
no
know
doubt.
nobody didn't know. We were together for 3 years and it was a blessing to be with you. I thank the Lord for you that time.
I always got tickled. You know, she was meek and mild, but yet she would tell you what was on her mind. If she had something she had to say, she was gonna say it in a soft way, but she gonna tell you. One thing I like about her.
Well, in that case, we'll have great memories.
Yeah.
All the worldly good doesn't mean anything if we had those good memories.
No. That's for certain.
Or this family, she one of the best friends I ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. You know, a lot of people, they don't get dog.
Yes, ma'am. We're done.
But she was looking out for everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
We're gonna be ready. Yes, sir. There anything we do, I wanna roll it.
Yeah, it's, well, it's. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
And brother, we'll be ready by tomorrow.
Or this afternoon, not, as soon as the court's over with, I'll get you a certified copy. I mean, that would work for you.
Becky tried to get those other two cases moved up. They wouldn't move them up. Then she tried to get them moved up to the 9:30. And they wouldn't. I said, next time they do that, tell them, okay, you wait till next month. I said, next time. I don't,
Curtis,
Now,
I'll give you a call when I have.
pause it.
okay.
I thought your number was speed dial.
I might not have ever been on there.
Them two. But, it didn't say anywhere in there that I'd have to pay to have that survey, so.
Second page, it don't say nothing.
Now, this is where the fact that I can't get into my Milton, is it Milton?
Well, Milton shows.
In the
10:30.
state. All right. My name is Milton Powers. I'm Tyler County Judge sitting in probate matters today on case number PR 09926. We are here today for an application to declare heirship and an independent administration on this case today. Are both parties ready for court?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Judgment. And this is proposed administration. And this is. Yeah. That was executed before a notary, although we did bring an extra copy that was set up to be signed in front of you.
This
So
is
we-
fine, this is fine because this can be
Yeah.
signed before the order.
Yeah.
Just the oath will have to be signed after the oath.
Ms. Calloway, would you raise your right hand, please? Is everything on? Okay. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay?
Would you please state your name?
Jacques Conway,
Where do you live, Ms. Calloway?
right, Texas.
And how long have you lived there? Are you familiar with the gentleman named Milton Earl Ratcliffe? And if you speak up loud enough, they're recording this, and we just want to make sure that your voice is heard. And you speak softly and kindly, but just a little more volume,
Yes, sir.
all right? Are you the applicant in a application to declare heirship that has been filed in cause number PR 09926 of the estate of Milton Earl Ratcliffe, deceased? And could you tell the court something about the marital history of your father? Who was he first married to? Yes, and
Right.
okay. And was that in fact your mother?
Yes.
Okay. And were they married back on October 27th of 1984? Okay. And how did that marriage end? Okay. And how many children were born of the marriage?
Just me.
Any other children adopted?
Yes.
All right. And you were born in 1986 down in Beaumont? Did your parents' first marriage end in divorce on June 12th, 1998?
Yes.
And your mother has no interest in your father's estate. Did your father subsequently remarry?
Yes.
And who was that to?
Jacques.
Do you remember the approximate date?
November 2nd. Don't remember the year. November 2nd.
2001?
There you go.
Were there any children born or adopted in the second marriage of
No,
your
sir.
mother or your stepmother and your father?
Yes.
Were any other children born to or adopted by your father during his entire life? And how did the marriage between your father and Janet Ratcliffe end?
Dead.
And who died?
Nine.
All right. And then he passed away on February 25th of 2020.
Yes, sir. There's no-
Did your father leave a will to your knowledge? Contemporaneously, with the filing of this application to declare heirship, and we also filed an application for independent administration of the intestate estate for Milton Earl Ratcliffe, and requested you be appointed as independent administrator.
Yes.
Now, with regard to your father's estate, we have previously filed with the county clerk's office in this case a document entitled Statement of Facts. Would the court like her to identify those statement of facts that are filed in the court's record?
Yes, please, I would. Yeah.
Would we mind me using my?
No,
copy
you can
for-
use your copies.
All right, that'll be fine. There was one statement of fact that was filed by you, is that correct?
Yes.
And does that essentially, put in writing, what your testimony that you previously given this morning, reflects as far as the marital history and heirship of your father?
Yes.
There is another statement of fact that was filed by Brandy Bell in this same cause number. Are you familiar with that document? Is it identical with regard to each of the facts contained therein? And the only difference essentially being a different applicant's name?
Yes.
Is there any, well, let's go ahead and identify the third one. It's also a statement of facts by Melvin Mott. Are you familiar with that? Is it also identical to the other two statement of facts that we've just identified before the court?
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about those, well, all three witnesses. Is there anything in your background that the court needs to be aware of? Have you been charged with any felony or misdemeanor involving moral turpitude?
No.
Are you presently under indictment or criminal accusation? With regard to Brandy Bell, similar question. Are you familiar with any criminal wrongdoing, felonies or otherwise, misdemeanors involving moral turpitude that would make her witness testimony less credible?
Not so much.
And then, how long have you known Brandy Bell?
I'm not right now. It's 20 years.
And is she a person that would have been around the family sufficient to know the marriage, truly know the marital history of your mother and father and your stepmother?
She's a very good lady.
And then with regard to Milton Mott, do you know him well? Is there anything about his lifestyle with regard to criminal accusations under indictments, felonies, or misdemeanors involving moral turpitude that he's ever been convicted of or charged with?
Not so much.
And how well do you know Mr. Mott?
A lot of people, she's very good family.
Okay, and how long have you known him?
They're family, not all of them.
Would he be in a position to know the marital history of your father? With regard to you being the sole heir of your father, there is a list of property that was filed in the declaration of heirship. Is that property that would be owned by your father in the nature of a one-half interest, with the other half interest owned by his surviving widow, Janet Blue Radcliffe?
Yes.
And you're requesting the court to determine you are the sole heir of your father's one-half interest in both his separate property as well as his one-half interest in the community property of that marriage. Is that correct? And with regard to the other one-half, that the community property, that would be owned by the three children that we'll talk about later, who are the sole surviving heirs of Janet Blue Radcliffe.
Mhm.
Are there any debts, not secured by real estate or otherwise that are owing on your father's estate?
Just the passing taxes on this.
And that's secured by a lien on the real estate.
Yes.
And
I don't know.
that's part of the reason that this is filed, because is there actually some cash in a bank account at East Texas State Bank that your father and your stepmother owned equally, and you need to be able to have access to that cash to be able to pay the property taxes against the land in the mobile home, which was their residence, is that right?
Yes.
Is there, you've heard concerns about, wanting to know that there's everything that you know that's good, bad, or otherwise with regard to the heirship and the inheritance by you with regard to your father. Is there anything that that the court should know about your father's marital history that has not been discussed previously in testimony during the day.
Yeah, I don't know.
And with regard to the heirship, since you are the sole heir of your father, are you requesting that you be appointed as the independent administrator of your father's estate, once the judge has found that you're the sole heir of your father's estate?
Yes,
And you recognize that with regard to being the independent administrator of the estate, that you would have certain duties to prepare, unless waived by you, or the collection agreement of the sole heir, the assets of the estate through an inventory, correct?
yes,
And you're aware that if there are any debts that show up through notice to creditors through the newspaper or otherwise, that those would have to be legal, those that are legally owed, you'd have to pay.
yes,
And do you believe that you can serve fairly and impartially under the law with regard to being appointed as the administrator of the father's estate?
yes.
I will pass the witness. Your Honor.
Well, before we do that, excuse me, the court takes judicial notice of the statement of facts from Miss Amber Radcliffe Calhoun on Miss Brandy Bell and Mr. Melvin Mott. We take judicial notice of that.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. McDonough, your witness.
Just to make sure we're broad enough, I'm asking the court to take tradition notice, all files found here in PR 09926 in Tyler County.
Yes, sir. We will take judicial notice.
If you lose me somewhere along the line, what do you know? Sometimes I ask questions I probably couldn't answer myself. We talked a little bit about jurisdiction in that line, the fact that the city was a resident of Tyler County for at least 6 months at the time of his death. Is that correct?
Yes.
And was there a diligent search made for a will?
Yes,
I know we didn't find one, but I'm supposed to ask to make sure a diligent search, not just say, oh, well, I'm a kid. You looked at places where it might have been, probably thought there wasn't one there anyway, but you looked to find it. You
I
found it.
searched the home and I also went to the Tyler County and asked to make sure nothing was found anywhere.
You're at least the age of 18, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
And have you ever been, I'll say the way you did, it's recovering around, probably with it. Have you ever been convicted of a felony or a crime of moral turpitude?
No,
Have you ever been found mentally incompetent or unable to handle your own affairs?
no, sir.
You know Brandy well quite well, correct?
Yes.
And the relationship that she has with your family, with you, a close relationship, right?
Yes.
It's the kind of relationship that there's been some deep dark secret, like a love child or something like that, you'd have heard about, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you heard no such thing, is that right?
Correct.
So the same thing with the relationship with Melvin Mott. Was that a good close warm relationship?
Yes, sir.
The kind of relationship that if there had been a love child or an unknown heir out there, he would have heard about it, you would have heard about it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've heard no such things, is that right?
Correct.
Relative to your knowledge of Brandy, close enough relationship that if she had ever been convicted of a felony or not, well, you heard about that.
That-
Maybe you did hear some things, is that correct?
That's
And if she'd ever been found mentally incompetent, unable to handle her own affairs, you'd know about that too. And there was no such thing, correct? And she's not getting any money out of this, is
No.
she has no financial interest whatsoever, is that correct?
that's correct.
I'm gonna switch gears slightly as to your other witness in this matter, which is Mr. Melvin Mott, right? Yes, I've already covered, I think, everything. Can you think of any reason why we should go forward with this case? The evidence we have before us now, kind of finding by this book,
No, sir.
Go on for just a minute.
Sure.
Council, do you feel like there's anything? You think we missed anything that we can come back to doing?
No, sir, but, you know, we had a citation through the newspaper with regard to the known there.
Yeah.
Mr. Radcliffe, was not a known person known to have numerous affairs or anything like that, so there's not children. And if that was the case, it's always been a person where, she comes where.
Let's go back on the record then, with the court taking case your notice of file, we already recognized publication that had been properly done. We're understanding that these were, individuals of very sound moral character.
Yes.
And we do not seem to have any reason for not this application to declare heirship. And that's an 09926 and I'm objecting to it whatsoever and asking that the court to grant that application.
And the court takes judicial notice, and no doubt that all the questions have been asked about the witnesses, about their moral concerns, or if they had any felonies. We do take that, as Miss Amber Radcliffe Calloway has stated today. And the court will, by everything that we've heard today, declaring heirship to Miss Amber Radcliffe Calloway in case number PR-09926. And there's a $500 fee to be paid on that, is that correct?
For your.
For your-
attorney.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got 750.
Is it $750?
I'm not sure.
Let's leave it blank for a moment. We'll go back
Okay.
to the end. I'll check my record to see what I told council.
Okay.
On the call.
You don't remember what y'all come to agreement with there?
Mr. Donovan and I have not actually physically communicated.
Okay,
And just checking the old records, I was gathering from the clerk that it usually ran between 350 and 500, but it was.
500 is fine.
500? Okay.
There'll be a companion case that will be another 500, so.
Yeah, it'll be 500 on both.
Today's the 10th.
Yeah,
Also on case number PR-09926, the order and authorizing independent administration and letters to court grants that today. How many letters do you need?
3, Your Honor.
3.
So after court today, I'll be glad to go on and so she can go ahead and take them that way. Further your Jasper. The $2 a piece, you can either pay or I can bill you with everyone who said.
And here's y'all's papers if you want to go ahead and get these signed by you and your client and him, Mr.
And then the oath.
Yeah.
Sign
Go
it,
ahead.
sign it.
Is there a signature line on the building?
Yes, sir. There'll be a signature there. Yeah, we got one of them. No, we just did one. We're gonna have to do the other one real quick. It's just a different. Yeah, it's a different part.
You previously read this, and we say whether it's not where it will. It should be fairly.
Right. Perfect. We'll be very well.
Here, my dad kind of piece that together from different files on the internet. There's a lot of them.
And I'm sure he said that for the next one as well.
Yes, sir.
Very airship, bodies. This is the order. Authorizing the administration that I alone signed. I'm assuming that Mr. Donald is not involved
No.
in speaking.
Well, I think that he's involved with airship.
Yes, sir, thank you. And that satisfies our will for the issue, letters and soon as I get back to the office.
Are we ready to move forward to the next case? Okay.
Yes, Ron.
All right, well, once again, my name is Milton Powers, Tyler County Judge, City Probate Matters for case number PR dash 09927. Being this is another case, I'm gonna ask you again, Ms. Radcliffe, if you would go ahead and swear in on this case as well. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay? All right, Mr. Jackson, do you have all the paperwork
Yes,
and
sir.
filing for this as well?
Yes, sir. Petitioner's ready.
Okay, go ahead, you may proceed.
Would you please state your name
Amber Howard.
and recognize that the questions that I'm gonna ask, some are repetitive from the previous hearing, but because we want to keep things separate and isolated from the case, I'm gonna ask you some of the same things. Okay? And what's your address?
155 and then 1943 Road East, Reading, Texas.
Okay, and is that in Alabama, Texas? Right. And are you familiar with, let me back up, how long have you lived at that address in Fred?
Since 2002.
Okay, and what do you do for a living?
I'm cafeteria man or one
Okay. And that's here in Howard County. And are you familiar with a woman named Janet Lou Stafford McInnes Ratcliffe?
She was my stepmom.
Okay. Your father's name was?
Milton, Milwaukee.
Okay. And let's talk about Janet's, marital history and life history as well. Did she pass away on November 2nd of 2020 in Tyler County
Yes.
in Woodville?
Yes.
And to the best of your knowledge, did she die without leaving a will or last will and testament? She was born on August 13th, 1970 in Woodville, Tyler County, Texas. Are you familiar with the fact that she was married only 2 times?
Yes.
Could you tell us the name of the first husband?
Michael Blanchette.
And, did they marry on July 5th, 1988, according to various records that you got? And were there any children, born of that marriage? Could you name them, please?
Michael McInnes, Summer McInnes, James McInnes.
Are they all over the age of 18 years at this time?
Yes.
In fact, we've, in various affidavits and filings with the court, we assert or bear that, Michael McInnes was born on November 28th, 1988 in Woodville. That Summer Michael McInnes was born on July the 18th of 1990 in Woodville, Tyler County, Texas, and that James Thomas McInnes was born on October 18th, 1991 in Woodville, Tyler County, Texas. Is that correct? And is that your understanding, based upon the various marital records that you have in your possession?
Yes.
Those 3 children, have all executed, sworn affidavits which are attached to this document for the application to declare heirship, is that correct?
Yes,
And were there any other children born to or adopted of this marriage, this first marriage? And did it end in divorce on March 9th, 2001 in Tyler County, according to your
yes,
then your mother, your father and your stepmother, then were subsequently married to each other on November 2nd, 2001.
yes,
Were there any children born to or adopted in a relationship? To your knowledge, did your stepmother Janet Ratcliffe have any other children born to or adopted by her during her entire lifetime, other than the 3 children that are named in the Declaration of Heirship?
not my knowledge.
First, why did they involve you in this matter?
As far as coping as adults, they're not very well with that, with business, with managing their own personal life. They all agree that it's a disease for to go off on neighbors as far as the service for certain use. They can't stay well long enough to hold up job or have identification showing that they're not very well functioning adults. That's the best thing.
To some degree, they need you to assist.
They, yes, or none of this would ever be taken care of. For instance.
And you've been willing to do that because you need some of their cooperation to handle your father's estate as well as your stepmother's estate, is that right? And is that due to both the real property that is asserted to be owned in the Declaration of Heirship or application for Declaration of Heirship, as well as the bank account at East Texas Credit?
Yes, sir.
Is that right? All right. Were the 3 children, are they all currently living?
Yes, sir.
Did Janet Ratcliffe marry again after the death of your father?
No, sir.
So your father died in February of 2020, and then she died in November of 2020. Are there debts or liens that are outstanding by her or her estate that need to be taken care of?
Her funeral bill, very Riley's very comprehensive. And this would pass the taxes. As far as I know, that's all.
And there's some money that would be due to you as well, because you had to advance sums to be able to pay the filing fees for their estate.
Yes,
I want to say the court takes judicial notice of what is owed to Riley's funeral home. I just want that on record, what's owed to them and the back taxes and what the filing fees were there. Okay,
Your Honor.
yes.
There are 3 statements of fact that put in writing essentially the same facts that you've testified to orally today.
yes,
Are you familiar with those, and have you read those?
yes,
One was filed by executed by Angela Mott, one by yourself, and one by Melvin Mott.
yes,
Are each of those statements of fact true and correct with regard to the facts that are contained in them? Are they essentially identical statements of fact with all the terms and provisions that are contained in those affidavits, except for the change of the names of the 3 affidavits? There is a list of property in the application to declare heirship, approximately 8 different types of property. So far as you know, is that an accurate representation of what your stepmother owned?
yes,
And we've aware that that's her community property, so it'd be half owned by her and half owned by your father's estate, correct? And have your 3 step siblings agreed with you that you should be appointed as the independent administrator of their estate, their mother's estate, on their behalf as well.
Yes,
And is that contained in an application for independent administration of intestate estate of the Janet Rose Stafford McInnes Rackman deceased? And, were their signatures being born on pages 5, 6, and 7 of that application for independent administration?
yes.
We may have, I said, and I may have, well, I knew that established all the depth of the state. Is there any reason you cannot serve fairly and partially as the administrator, independent administrator of your stepmother's estate in this proceeding? Is there anything with regard to, this estate that you feel like the court should be aware of regarding both the application of each of these two petitions and your ability to serve fairly and partially? Right. With regard to the three statement of facts, are that all the applicants contained that have been named, are they, have any of them ever been charged or convicted of any felony or other case involving moral turpitude?
On the same.
Yes.
No,
We'll pass the legislation.
Good. Before, Mr. McDonough moves forward, I just want to thank, let the court to have judicial, notification that all three, Ms. Summer McInnes, Michael McMinnis, and James, McMinnis is all signed off on her becoming the independent administrator. Mr. McDonough, you may move forward with it.
I was gonna ask the court to go ahead and take judicial notice of the entire file.
Okay.
Including citation by publications, the various statements that are going to be found inside, and all the other documents that are relevant.
Court will take judicial notice of all the file. You may move forward.
This has been seen written then. But 18 years of age, correct?
yes,
And as far as the will is concerned, was there a diligent search made for the will?
yes, sir.
And was one found?
No, sir.
You looked high, you looked low, you looked everywhere you thought you go, this wasn't.
Lock boxes, you name it, found out, yes.
And you some ever been convicted of felony or crime of moral turpitude. And the others who have signed written statements in these matters, to your knowledge, have ever committed a felony, crime of moral turpitude.
No, sir.
And the relationship you have with the individual. How long have you known these?
I'm sorry, so 37 years.
Good, close, tight, warm relationship. If there's any love children or unknown heirs out there that you'd have heard about, correct?
Definitely spoken about.
And Angela would have heard about, correct? And you never heard any such thing, so. Same question is, and Melvin, how did you know
They're married and one married, so
them? And so,
he's very.
length of time that you've known him, years and years and years? Good, close, warm relationship?
Speak up instead of.
Okay.
Okay, and I let you get away with shaking your head and say, you have to say yes, or no. So, and then I'll go back to Melvin. Long relationship, long, close relationship. The type of a relationship that there's an unknown heirs, or the love children, that skeletons of the body, call it whatever you want. You had heard about it, correct?
Yes,
And Melvin would have known about it, and he would say something about it, correct?
definitely would have been.
So
Yes.
no such information ever passed as it never. Does any doctor, judge ever found you to be mentally incompetent or unable to handle your own affairs?
No, sir.
And with that statement, it would that be the same with Angela Mott and Melvin Mott as far as the mental stability? As far as you know, no doctor ever found them incompetent or unable to handle their own affairs, correct?
Yes, sir.
And as far as a direct financial interest, Melvin had any kind of direct financial interest in it?
No, sir.
And did Angela have any manager at financial interest in that?
No, sir.
I think we've added enough questions. And I want to thank you very much for your time and your attendance, working with us on this matter to get it resolved. That's what it's shown.
All right, you have anything else today?
I do not.
All right, Mr. Dexter, do you have your orders there?
Yeah, that we can sign.
Yes, yes, sir. The court orders today are the application to declare heirship to Mr. Michael, Randolph Hollis McMinnis, or Summer Michael McMinnis, Mr. James Thomas McMinnis, and Miss Amber Radcliffe Calloway. All that will be into that, and we do, with the independent administration today, move forward with all them signing off and putting you as the executor of the will, okay?
Yes. You agree with this, this one also?
May need a few more on that one, with the Riley's funeral on. And are we doing the same $500 fee?
Yes.
And the court ordered the independent administration today as well. I appreciate it, and I apologize for my voice today. You know, so forgive me of that. Yeah, it's just, this whole stuff gets down and drains into my throat and I can't help it.
He speaks hoarsely, again, not giving anything away, but frequently.
Yeah.
Especially stuff in the pulpit.
Yeah,
He's also.
I-
a preacher.
I'm also a fast person. Yeah. Do a little bit of it all. First Baptist do said. Yes.
We make your.
Yes, sir. I'm a pastor too. Yes, sir. Been a pastor for 22 years now.
That's better than being the judge.
And that's way better. I'd rather be called Brother Milton any day. Well, a few less people hate you anyway when you're the preacher. Yeah. That's right.